Is August 8th, 2023. This is Flosstube number 85. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel where I mostly talk about cross stitch, sometimes some wool applique, sometimes some punch needle, but most of the time just cross stitch. I'm glad you decided to join me today to see what I've been working on. This has been about 2 weeks since the last time I videoed. So I'm doing good with staying with the schedule, which is awesome. And I have some finishes to show you, some whips to show you, a couple of things that I've purchased, some of my plans, and some of my reorganization. So I have been doing a lot of reorganizing my fabric mostly. It is a disaster. I have an armoire over here. It's almost like a, I don't know if we want to call it an armoire. It probably is, but it's more like a lingerie armoire, but it's quite large. And it's part of the set of my bedroom. But I took it and put it in the craft room so I could use it as storage in here. And I had 2 large drawers that I had all of my fabric in Ziploc bags and Amazon bags just shoved in there. And every time I needed to look for fabric, I'd have to pull out that count. I would keep it by count in there, and then look through it, see if I could find something that would work or not. And I started seeing people doing the hanging it on the comic board and reorganizing. So I decided to do that as well. So I thought I would share that with you today. And this is what my drawers look like now. It's not complete yet, but it is nose itch, of course. It is a work in progress. I still have a lot of fabric that I need to go through and stuff, but I wanted to show you how it was looking in the drawers, and I really love it. And what I'm using is comic book boards. These are the ones I'm buying from Walmart.com, and they're the 7.5 by 10.5 boards, which work really well for me. And so I cut them down to so this is the size of the board here. Let's start with that. And this is the size. This is 7.5 by 10.5 board. I do cut them down to I think they're like a 5-inch or 5.25 by 10.5. And that's how I cut them down to use them for anything that's like a fat quarter or more. And then if I have a piece that is a smaller piece than that, then I cut one of these in half and use them this way, cut in half, and then put my smaller pieces on it. And I'll show you that as well. So this is what it looks like when I put my fabric on them. So my fabric is on there, and then I put this information. So I put what count it is, if it's linen, Aida, or even weave, the size of the fabric, who is the dyer, if it has a dyer on it. This one says Bestitch Me, BSM, Bestitch Me. And then the name of the fabric. And I usually leave the tag on it if I can. It's pinned onto the board. And so they're in my drawer like this. And then as you saw as the other picture, if I have smaller pieces, it's on a half board. And again, I put the same exact information, pin it on, and they're all sorted that way. And it's working out really great because I can see all my colors. It's so exciting to set them up by size, so by the count. And then I do like a rainbow effect. So light to darks. And it's just so pretty. I can open the drawer and immediately see in my 32 count, in my 36 count, what color range I have, and I can choose. So if it's on the big backer boards, on the big boards, I know that it's probably a fat quarter or more. And then if it's on the smaller ones, then it's a smaller cut. And it's really working out well. I love it. And I'm going to continue going through my fabrics and putting them in there like that. And I think I'm going to get them all to fit. So I'm really excited about that. So like I said, I did buy those at Walmart.com. I'm sure you could get them on Amazon as well. They come in a 100 pack, and they cost me about $20 for the 100 pack. This is my second 100 pack. And I have plans of going through all my fabric as well and get that on boards so I can see. I just had a hummingbird come up to my window and look. So it was so cute. Sorry. They're just adorable. I have about, well, anyway, so I'm going to put all my fabric on those as well. So I'm really excited about going through all my fabric and getting rid of all the little dinky pieces that I know I'm not going to use. On my cross stitch fabric, I do save the smaller pieces because if I'm going to do little ornaments or something, I'm keeping those in a Ziploc bag. And then I will put the pieces that will wrap on the boards, so I know that they're larger pieces. So I think it's going to work out just great, and I'm excited about it. Other than that, I have been enjoying the outside. Our garden has done really well. I will post pictures at the end of the video if you're interested to see what the garden looked like and what we got out of the garden. And my husband grew me a huge sunflower, which ended up being a multi-headed sunflower, which is the most beautiful thing. So it has multiple flowers going up and down it. And I took some pictures of that too. I'll share that at the end. And I also have this year 5 hummingbirds, so I am so excited to have 5 of them this year. I usually only have 2 or 3, so now I have 5. And I also have, so far, what I've seen, 5 bunnies running around my backyard. And they're in and out of the garden, and they've been eating some things, but I'm not worried about it. I love them there. I love to see them. And so we've had 5 bunnies, and then we've had 2 deer that we've seen a couple of times come through, and one of them ate some of our corn, and I think they're into the tomatoes too. I did find out through reading and research that if you use Irish Spring soap and you cut it into chunks or shave it and put it around your garden, they can't stand the smell of it and they'll stay away from the garden. And I can say since we've done it, I haven't seen any major damage since we put it down, which is great. So that's what I've been busy doing besides stitching. I didn't get a lot of stitching done. I know last time I talked I had plans to get certain things done by the end of July. And my nose is going to itch through this whole thing now for some reason because it's Flosstube Busy nose. So I did get several things completed. I have some finishes to show you from that time, and the Hummer is still visiting me at the window. And let's get started. So the first thing was that I wanted to finish I'm looking for the name of it, the costume party. And that's fine. I didn't get this finished until I got into August. So I had plans of finishing by the end of the month of July. That didn't happen, but I do have it finished now. I'll post a picture here of what it looks like. And this is the finish, and I do have some threads hanging from it because I was doing a banner. And I wasn't sure how I was going to finish it, so I left my little strings hanging. But there is my total finish, and I know it's hard to see, but there is green stuff coming out of the pot there. Maybe you can see it there. And it's finished, so I'm excited that it's done. I have no idea. I might do it as a flat fold or some other kind of finish. I'm not sure yet, but hopefully I can get it done before Halloween so I can actually get it up. So that was my first finish. My second finish is a finish before the end of July, and again, I'll post a picture here what it's supposed to look like. This is Nativity Squared by, I can never remember it, A New Creation Studio, Allison. Sorry, Allison. And I was so thrilled to have this finally finished. There it is. It is done on a 32 count hand dyed by Stephanie. It's either called Helix or Jealous, I'm not sure, but it's beautiful. And again, I'm probably going to do it as a stand-up and put it by my nativity scene. And I did purchase another one to do of hers, so I'll start that soon. So that was 2 finishes. And then I said that I was going to try to finish the Drawn Threads Welcome Winter. And I did get this done. Sorry about the glare. So this will be ready for winter this year. And it looks like this. And I remember last time I talked about I was dreading doing all the snowflakes and stuff, but I did get it done. And here it is. So we'll come in closer so you can see all the stitches. It's all specialty stitches and little snowflake dots and all that other goody stuff. And I think it's just beautiful. This is the last one that I had to finish for my door. I have this posted at my door in a frame, and it sits and it changes out by the season. And of course, I can't I can't believe I'm going to say this again. It's still sitting with spring on it. So I guess summer is out the window at this point, and I'm going to have to put autumn in it. Maybe I can get that done today and switch it out before winter hits. But at least I have winter done. I just need to get it matted up so I can switch the frame out when I need to do that. But there it is. Such a beautiful, I love this series. There's also a Christmas one and a Halloween one. And I have plans. I have them. Will I do them? I'm not sure. But I'm glad to have that done. I did finish that before the end of July as well. And that's my finishes that I finished since the last time you saw me. I did work on some things for August. So July, let's talk about July first. So I had plans for July. My plans were to put in one motif of Rose Quaker, which I did. Finish the birdhouse, the Stars and Stripes birdhouse, and you guys saw that last. So I did finish that. Life's a Journey from Stony Creek, and I finished that one. To work on my son's stocking. And I did that. In fact, I'm going to put you on hold for a second because I forgot to grab that. So, yeah, I think I forgot. Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. So let's talk about the stocking. And this is Stony Creek. It's in the book Christmas in the Woods, and it's the Winter Wonderland stocking right there. And I did get some stitching on this. I am stitching it on a 28 count mushroom Lugana with the called for DMCs. No changes because their stuff is just gorgeous. And I will post a picture here the last time you guys saw it and what it looked like. And this is where I'm at now. There it is. I'm heading towards the toe finish. I was working on the bottom there. I put in the chipmunk and the bird and some of the branches and stuff. I might have done the branches and stuff since, I don't know if you saw it when I did that. I'm not sure. But that's what I was working on. I'm heading towards the toe, and it is my plan before the end of August to have this completed. So I don't have a ton of stitching because it's not all full coverage at the toe, but it is heavy stitching, but not full coverage. So I'm looking forward to getting that done, and I got to put his name at the top. I have been working on this for at least 3 or 4 years now, and I still haven't gotten it finished. And part of my issue with the whips, and again, I don't have a ton of whips. I know some people have a lot of whips, and they're comfortable with that, and that's fine. But I feel like I shouldn't have a whip that's older than 3 years old, because it's like after 3 years, why haven't I got it done? So that is my thing now. My ultimate plan is no whip over 3. I want to get the older whips done. I want to start fresh and not have anything. If I have a whip that's 2 years old, then that needs to be a focus for that 3rd year. I need to get it done. Because otherwise it could be sitting for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and I don't want my whip sitting that long. If I started it, I really loved it, I really wanted to do it, I haven't UFO'd it, then it's time to pull it out and get it done. Get it done. So that is my plan. No whip over 3. So I'm going to have my son's stocking hopefully finished. I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say I'm going to have it finished by the end of August. I'm going to have it finished because it's important to me to get it done so I can get it fully finished and have it for Christmas this year for him. So that is one of my plans for July. So July I did some stitching. I will finish it in August. I said I was going to work on Map of Hawk Run Hollow for a day, and I did that, and you guys saw that. Welcome Winter was a finish, so I did that for July. Nativity Square was a finish for July. And then the only thing I didn't do on July that I said I was going to do was work on my Gather Together, which is the Mill Hill, we gather together with the Pilgrims and the Indians. I did not do that. So I'm going to try to roll that over to August. So I was supposed to stitch on it for 1 day. So I'm going to try to pick a day in August and get that stitched. So not bad. I only have one thing that I didn't finish or didn't work on in July. And I had one item that rolled to August for a finish. I I also mentioned the Under the Sea Sow, which I'm rolling that over to September. I didn't work on it at all in July. I rolled it over to September for a finish. I also rolled over Autumn Leaves till August for a finish. And Autumn Leaves I did work on. In fact, I was working on it this morning, and I will post a picture of what it's supposed to look like, and if I have a before picture, I'll post that as well. And this is where I'm at now. I am so close to a finish. I'm going to lay this on the bag so I can show it, and really close to a finish. So I just have a little bit left over here, and then there's some leaves and stuff on both sides of the pleats. And this is stitched on a 36 count Garden Party by Stitch Me. I absolutely love this fabric. This was the coolest fabric, and I still have a half a piece from it, so I'm definitely going to find something else autumny to stitch on it. And I should have this completed today. Not sure what I'm doing with it. I would like to find a frame for it, but we will see if I'm able to find a frame that will fit it. And that will make another finish for me sometime today, and another one off of my whip list. So right now, I'm trying to see what I have. I think I have, let me see, how many whips I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 whips right now. And that will bring me down to 14, but I have a plan to start something, so that'll bring me back up again. So the other thing that I was going to work on in August was my Quaker, Rose Quaker, which I said I was going to do one motif a month, and I did work on this, and this is what it looks like. And I'll post a picture here what it looked like the last time if I have one available. And I did do one motif on it, and I did this big motif right here at the end. So there it is. This is being stitched on a 36 count Winter Moon by Zweigart. It's 2/2 with the called for DMCs, and it is just looking beautiful. I made a decision that I was going to try to put my, you can see the alphabets in here. I was going to try to put my initials in it and change the color of those letters to my, so it was my initials. It would be different. See, it's JMC. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do it or where I'm going to do it. So I'm leaving the alphabet off until the end, and then I'll work on the alphabet and stage where I want my initials so that they show up nice. But absolutely love this pattern. One of my favorites. Another plan of mine is to work on my Hawk Run Hollow for this month. So one day. I have not done that yet, so we won't see that until next time. Autumn Leaves we just talked about. And I think that's it for this month. Costume Party's finished. Rose Quaker. My stocking will be a finish. Map for Hawk Run Hollow. Finish the Autumn Leaves, and then work on the Gather Together. So I don't have a ton of things on here. If I get done early, which I doubt I will, because the stocking is going to take a lot of time for me to finish, and I want to get it done right. So if I have time afterwards, I might push some things over to that time. We will see. But that's all the plans that I had for August. I did restart my winter sampler, which is the Crochet to Go-Go winter sampler. I was doing it on a 40 count Verdal called Coffee Club from Stitch Me, and the holes were just so difficult for me to see. I was doing it 1/2, but I was just having the hardest time making the stitches. Even with my magnifier, I was having a difficult time. So I did switch it over to the called for fabric, which is the 36 count. I think they did on 32 maybe. But I'm doing a 36 count, and it's Vintage Country Mocha, and this is my little dinky bit of a start. So I will be working on that throughout the month as well, just here and there, to try to get myself a good start on that for this month. But I'm happier with it. I can actually see it. I am doing it, I think I'm doing it 2/2 as well. And it's nice coverage. I like the coverage on 2/2 if it's not hand dyed. If it's hand dyed, I have to do 1/2 because it shrinks a little. But when it's a printed fabric, which it's printed on one side, not on the other, it doesn't shrink, so it does make it easier to do the 2/2. So that is the things that I'm going to work on. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I said I was going to work on. Nope, that's it. So that's what I've been doing. And of course, as I'm finishing up my projects and putting stuff away, I had to share this because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get this done, but this is all the floss from all the projects in the last 2 months that I have finished and I have to de-kit. So I really need to start putting this all away. It's a lot of threads. So I'm going to spend some time within the month and get this all put away because I have more coming and I keep just adding to it, which is not good. I didn't really purchase anything new. I did get one purchase here. I'm trying to think. I did buy some 32 count vintage country mocha. I think I bought a yard. So I'll cut that up into half yards and put that on my boards. But I really love this fabric and I'm sure I'll use it. So I bought a half a yard or a full yard. And then I have, the last time we talked, I got this awesome deal on 36 count linen, Stitch Me linen in a lot. Well, this time I seem to be hitting it with the lots, people selling things in a lot. Somebody was selling Victoria Motto sampler threads in a lot. There were 43 of them. And I grabbed those because it was an awesome deal. And I'm going to show you the colors because it's so beautiful. And I love her threads. I was in her club when she had the club. And Nancy was always great to work with when she first started the club. Everything was wonderful. But then she became ill and her husband was doing things. And I think that's when the company went downhill because he wasn't as patient as her with dealing with the orders and stuff. So I ended up leaving the club and stuff and not getting her threads anymore. But I do love them. So if I find them, I buy them. So this is some of the purples, and there's 43 of them. And so there's all different purples. And then I have a darker set of purples. Whoever's selling them wasn't using purple a lot, so they gave all the purples. So look at all those. Love, love, love them. You can see a lot of Halloween coming out of that, can't you? It's just beautiful purples. And then we have yellows and oranges. Trying to grab them all at once here. So there's the yellows and oranges. And a lot of hers are not mottled threads. They're just dyed. But they're still such beautiful colors, and they're 20 yards on each card, so which makes it a great bargain. We have pinks. So I'm going to get all these put on my thread wall. Whoops, I just lost one, and that was a variegated one. She's got a couple of variegateds in the pinks. So really beautiful, couple of beautiful, beautiful reds in here. So really pretty. I got greens and blues. I would have liked to have gotten more greens and blues, but that's what was in it. And then some browns and some more reds, and really patriotic reds, which is really nice. I like that red pop. So that was 43 skeins, and it was a fabulous bargain for me, so I bought those. And that's about the only thing. I'm trying to think. There were a couple other things that I got, but I'll be darned if I know what the heck I did with them. So maybe you'll see them next time. I'm not sure. I think that was it. I've showed everything. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I've been working on, and I will be back in a couple of weeks to show you where my progress is on those things, and then what I'm going to do with my very old whips that start from 2017 until now. I have several that are 2017, 2018s. How I'm going to get those finished and get myself under 3 years of whips. No whip over 3. That's my plan. So one of them, the oldest one I have right now, is my Mirabilia's Miss Christmas Eve, and all she has to do is be beaded. So I need to put her back on the stretcher bars, and I need to get that out and start beading her. I still have not found a frame for her. I'm looking for a large oval frame for her to go on, and the only oval ones I can find in the thrift stores and stuff are plastic ones, and I don't want a plastic one. I want a wooden frame. So I'm still hunting for it, but I'm going to get her finished in the meantime. I also have tons and tons of finishing to do. I have so many finishes that need to be fully finished, and I really need to start working on those and getting them fully finished before the holidays